Good morning, guys. Welcome to iPunt Smart quick preview for Kenilworth double-header today. So we have to move quickly. I've already done all the exotics here: the bipod, the PA, the Pick Six, the jackpot, and the jackpot 2. You see, there's a few notes here as well. Those notes are a little bit older, though, I must admit. The 21st of September was Mr. Vargas's note, and Ottoman Empire was the 7th of November. Do note you can also make your own notes by just clicking on that plus button, and you can create notes for yourself for any specific horse or for any expert, or for the jockey, for the trainer, for a specific race, for the track, etc. So it does make things easier. Next time you pop in with that same horse, it pops up to show you the note on that specific horse. But let's move on. The first race, I don't have anything to go by. This greenie I don't trust. Seeking the Peace. It was supported on debut when Solomon's was riding. 5.25 into 4 to 1. Decent adjusted time, but it was in 900 meters and 55 kilos. So it is the only horse in this whole race that has run before. And we have been too generous on the points given because of that, as the only runner in this field that has run before. So let's look at machine learning and AI rather, and there we look at Gracewood Pink as the first selection in the machine learning AI section. Candice Bass Robinson and Doormeyer. This horse is a Futura Sea of Power National Assembly dams. So I have not known what to do in this race, so I've gone with 6, 2, 7, 1, 5, and 3, the full field in my bipod. That's how confident I am in the first race. Let's move on to the second race. And in the second race, I have gone with Skidoo, Mr. Cobbs, and Mr. Vargas as the only 3 runners. And you can see why these back figures of these 3 is way superior of the last bottom 3, 8 lengths, 12 lengths versus 1, 2, and 1 lengths. I think 2 and 4 is really all you need, but very little separating these 3 runners for me, and therefore maybe look at the result of the first. If Candice Bass Robinson wins the first, then Mr. Cobbs is maybe one that'll try again. It did get a lot of support from 6 into 3 on the last attempt, merit rated 80 event, so maybe there's some more in the pipeline. Concerns, Doormeyer jumps over to Skidoo, so Grant van Niekerk is taking the ride, and then Mr. Vargas, Richard Fourie is back. The previous 2 times Richard Fourie was riding Mr. Vargas, it won on both the occasions, so nothing's going to separate those 3 for me. In the third race, my best choice for me as far as a winning chance is His Choice. So I've banked it in my bipod and in my PA. So and I've only gone Captain Who and His Choice in the Pick Six. That's wrong. 1 and 2. No, yeah. Actually, yes, it's right. I only took 1 and 2. I should have maybe also looked at Captain Who, the 3, as well as Picketberg Alley, the 12. But the reason why I only took the top 2 was I don't really see anything beating His Choice. And I'm just going to open up the top 4 selections here. The 1200 Kenilworth Maiden, the last 2 runs was both very decent runs, even from a 14 draw. There was some support. Grant van Niekerk retains the ride. The North lengths and the 3.12 on the bat, definitely the best 2. If I'm considering that Captain Who was beaten by His Choice on the previous 10th of November, 0.5 lengths away from the winner versus 2.5 lengths away from the winner. That's a 2 length difference, and there's no change in weights, and there's a better draw for His Choice and a worse draw for Captain Who. So His Choice was my first choice. Picketberg Alley was an interesting runner for me. 63.91 the adjusted time, really nowhere close to what I have seen on its last run. clearly some improvement on his choice from 61.87 on the 10th of November when it was just ahead of Captain Wu to a 60.61 on the previous occasion. So clearly some very good improvement. Best speed rating, best exact distance, median speed, his choice is my first choice. The only one that I could be a little bit surprised as far as improvement is the Anton Marcus factor with Brett Crawford and the Gelded factor. So I've gone with Light of My Life really as the only one that could upset the apple cart for me here. But I've banked his choice in my smaller pick six as well as my PA. Moving on to the fourth choice. I really think the only two runners that can win here is High Moon and Grand Vision. The 2.32 and 2.6 bats very, very, very close to each other. So those two would be the only two that I consider that could be winning this. Maybe improvement from Tales of Us at 10-1, best median speed and best stat form. And then the gelding factor of Big Thinker, another one, but I don't really see anything else winning but High Moon and Grand Vision. In the fifth race, I think Iris is good enough for a place. A nice 150% chance for a top 3, 71% chance for a top 4. So maybe worthwhile a nibble on top 3 and top 4 on Iris. Um, Greg Shane takes the ride again on Iris, and I'm not so fond of Kitty Cat Chat. I'll show you why I actually like the other Brett Crawford runners more. So I have gone with 5, 6, 7, and 8 in my bipod. So Iris being the obvious improver here, the 1,000-meter Kenilworth, the last giant fillies and mares 72, 58.76, a really good time, and now gets 5.5 kilos less. It hasn't done that well with Greg Shane on board. It has won in Durbanville with Greg Shane, but the Fillies and Mares 79 on the 27th of October was beaten by Social Butterfly. And Social Butterfly also gets 3 kilos less today, and Makot was taking the ride. So I have definitely got some respect for Social Butterfly. And if I'm looking at the times on Kitty Cat Chat, yes, it was supported from 7-1 into 1.4 on debut and duly arrived winning on debut. But look at the speed rating, 94.9 is not as good as Iris. And the adjusted time of 61.14 is not all that great either. It was a 12.50 in Durbanville. And now it's got 3.5 kilos less, so yes, it's got some natural improvement also to come. But now look at this Kurat. Solomon's now only 50 kilos on the back, and first and second on its last 2 runs. The Fillies and Mares 72 was on the 21st, was second behind Iris, and was carrying 59.5. Today is carrying 50, so that's 9.5 kilos, and it was only beaten 1.25 lengths, and now has 9.5 kilos improvement at 7-1. Kurat could most definitely be the joker in this pack, because Brett Crawford has a strong hand here with Social Butterfly and Kitty Cat Chat. I wouldn't be surprised if Kurat is the one that comes through and wins this with that kind of weight change, 50 kilos only on the back. So I've gone with all 4 of them, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then moving on to the 6th race, and here again Candice Robinson and Doormeyer, best bat figures in the field here, best form, most greenie points, and Fire Alley is my first choice, with Bereave, Adam Marcus and Greg Shane the second choice. There wasn't all that much between the two of them. Bereave actually beat Fire Alley on the previous chance. 59 kilos gets a half less, and 56 stays the same. So there was only 0.3 lengths between the two. So you're going to have to take both of these, Bereave and Fire Alley, at the very least in your pick 6, 2, and 5. But the Ottoman's Empire, I've got that note at the bottom here that says really good horse, should go on to win a a few more, was winning hands down in a merit rate at 90 just after winning his maiden on debut. So he then followed the 1600, looked a bit too much, Seville, but Marcus coming down for the ride today. Blinkers are being fitted. Bit of an unknown quantity what Blinkers is going to do here and what Marcus is going to do here, but have to include him as well. And then Times New Roman is my fourth choice. Has been showing some very nice improvement of late. Grant van Niekerk's taking the ride, some good 4.61 on the bat the previous time, the highest best median speed on the previous run. So that's another one that I think has a chance. 2, 5, 1, and 10 is maybe enough for pick six purposes as well, but the 4 and the 3 Irish Tractor, Brett Crawford again with Mokotwa again. The 1600 maiden was a really good win there. The adjusted time wasn't all that great, but it's back on the 1600 caution distance winner. And then Destin, the Justin Snaith and Richard Fourie. I think a 10 to 1 on the Justin Snaith Richard Fourie is always worthwhile taking. So that is the next best for me in this race. Those 6 at the bigger pick 6 perms. Then the PA second last leg or jackpot last leg, probably my toughest race for me to get through here. I like the idea that Crawford and Riggs is the first attempt here. I like a bit more of the other Crawford and Riggs in the last race. So Arctic Drift, Knights Templar the best bomb figures, Arctic Drift the best bat figures, and by far the best bat curve here. I see that by lots of lengths to Arctic Drift, 27.8 lengths. So those are the top 2. Fortogopian, the third best stat and intent and just the time and speed rating and exotic ranking. Only 53 kilos on the back. Then Rocking Ringo. Again, we have little Luke Mokotwa. Exact distance, median speed, the highest, some good bat figures. And then my bestie, Greg Shane's taking the ride. Blinkers are being off because the blinkers didn't do the trick on the last time. By the looks of things, you must give it another chance here. Because that wasn't a mini feature, and 8.95 on the back wasn't all that bad. Now 53.5 kilos for Greg Shane. Have to respect my bestie. Southern Star, not all that far off either. Win place on the jockey 50%, 7.43 on the bats, so pretty decent there as well. And Shaboom, Jeffrey Solomon's, blinkers fitted. 4.9 on the bat now with a 2.5 kilo claim. Another one that could win this race. Man About Town, 25 to 1. Some best bomb roll 42 and very close to best bat figures. So another one I think is a really tough race to get through. And then in the very last race, Dean Cannonmere is the greenie, but I still think if you leave the greenie out of it, then this race is completely open. 6.9, 6.9, 9.6, 5.9, 7.6, 8.4, 9.9, and 11. And with the Marcus factor on the back of Glitter in the Air, I'm not going to bank it. So I've gone 4, 5, 7, and 14. Glitter in the Air, Heims Vimit, Shades of Red at 25 to 1, and What's in a Dream. That's got a bit of a draw to overcome, but does come with a little bit of a break improvement. So those 4, and then if one of those 4 doesn't win, then 2, 9, 6, 11, 12, and 3 all in here with a shout as well. I'm hoping that Shades of Red's going to win it. Only runner for Jeff Woodruff with Aussie Noach, blinkers fitted, and some really decent 6.9 on the bat figures the last time. But the greenie is Glitter in the Air. Glitter in the Air, 3.25 behind the winner on the 25th of November, against 5 behind the winner on Shades of Red. 1.5 lengths between the two. That's all there was, and therefore I think that Shades of Red at 25 to 1 is really worthwhile to be included. And then Heims Vimit. Heims Vimit does look a little bit better. Got some support on 4.25 to 2.75 on the last time. It does have the best exact distance, median speed, and best stat form, and did run third on its only time over the course and distance. And now Mr. Chele, his only runner for the day. He didn't go all that well in the previous time, but that was 1,000 meters, and we're going back on the 1600 where he's shown that he can run third on. So 12 to 1 Humps Vimit is another decent little backup on the PA side. So 4, 5, 7, and 14 for PA, and then the bigger perms are the big 6, 2, 9, 6, 11, 12, and 3 guys. As far as standouts today, there aren't any, to be quite honest. I don't like this card. I don't think that there's much. His choice is probably my one horse that I'll be backing today in Kenilworth. Maybe some places. Iris 71% top 4, 150% top 3. Nothing else that stands out for me in this race. So I'll be learning from my JTR combo today to see where the patterns are emerging. You can see a good one there. His choice 2.69, 2.61 overall ranking, which is pretty decent. And if I look further down, Candice Bass Robinson's got some good runners here. 2.28 on Mr. Cobbs. High Noon 2.15, and Iris at 2.64, and Fire Alley at 2.85. Arctic Drift at 3.59, and here we got the Canamere Glitter in the Air 2.34 ranked overall as well. So there is some potential here for some nice doubles. So do look at the JTR combo, and then the JTR detail sheet has got some interesting revelations as well. If you look at the overall rankings for each one of these horses, like Mr. Cobbs here, he's first, second, and third. Therefore, he's probably good enough for a banker in the PA, because he's first, second, and third in every single category across the board here. That does help to also look at that. Here we can see Andre Null, and his choice is pretty much first, rated first everywhere. He lost a lot of his ranking here on the Bat C, where he's 6th, but he's first and second everywhere else. He hasn't done the exact course and distance, so he's not ranked there, but his overall 2.61 ranking is really good. Adam Marcus 3.1, Captain Who. So you can learn a lot from here. Okay, guys, that's it from me. Have a great 23rd, 2 days to Christmas. And last time we're speaking again tomorrow before Christmas.